We are outside the soccer field again, and I'm going to walk you through how to adjust your PTZ camera settings for outdoor use. Now, these same settings can be used for your indoor, so tweak them as necessary. But going from indoors to outdoors, there are a lot of elements that you may or may not be able to account for. One of the main elements is the sun, and it is a bright sunny day out here, so I wanted to wait to do this video until we had the sun pretty much overhead in the worst opportune time. It is just after noon here on the East Coast, not the most ideal sun position setting for photography or video, but I want to show you how making some adjustments in your camera can help you have a better picture quality. Now, I have my 20x PTZ camera here. I have the brand new Move SE camera here, and I'm going to walk you through settings on both of these cameras. And I'm also going to apologize in advance because I forgot the cable to my microphone in the house, and I'm not going back to go grab it. So apologize in advance, but if you guys could still do me a favor and show me that you still appreciate the fact that I am out here recording these videos for you guys, give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Let me first walk you through the equipment that I'm using for the setup for those that are interested, and then we'll jump into the settings for the PTZ camera. So first off, I have my tall RAW8 tripod. This is that really tall tripod that I used in the previous videos when I was talking about live streaming outdoor sports. And then this tripod is my carbon fiber tripod that I take with me with my book bag because it's really light and sturdy. We have our PTZ Optics camera. This is the 20x USB version of the camera. And I'm actually have it pointed directly toward where the light is coming from. So the light is actually shining this way, and I have my camera pointed directly towards the light. So trying to create the worst possible scenario so that you guys see how much you can actually improve it. And then over here, I have my YOLO Box Pro that is going to be in monitor mode so that you guys can see the input of the camera. And I also have a Field World monitor recorder. This is more so that I can record the screen of the YOLO Box Pro, and it just looks easier to view here on the video rather than me trying to point in super tight onto the YOLO Box Pro. The PTZ Optics camera is being powered by my Blue Yeti power station, along with my Field World video screen recorder as well. So that thing is coming in handy again. But as you can see right now, like the picture image quality from the PTZ Optics here on a bright sunny day is what's called washed out. It's like way too bright. This is not the setting that you want to have for your camera. So if you're running into this issue, some of these setting adjustments that we'll make should fix the issue. I'm just going to use the remote controller because the Move SE controller, which I'm using here, works on the older versions of the PTZ Optics cameras as well. So I'm going to point the remote at the camera and select menu, and I'm able to see the menu settings on my YOLO Box screen here. We're going to navigate through the exposure, and we can change the exposure. And one of the things I've been learning as I've been doing more photography stuff is that the iris and the shutter, those are really important. So we'll go into the iris and we'll change this setting higher. So we don't want to do 1.8 because 1.8 is going to let in a lot of light. And for out here, we don't want to let in a lot of light. So we will change the iris. And as you see, as we change the iris, it's letting in less light. And so if we go all the way to close, it makes it black. So we can actually navigate between what we think is going to be the best optics for our audience. And having an iris at 1.8 is really good for indoor because there's less light. So you want to bring in the most light from indoor. Outside, not so much. Now, another way that you can make this adjustment is by changing the shutter. So I'm going to show you the shutter. I'm going to go back to iris, so you could just see the difference here. And we'll open the iris all the way back. We're going to adjust the shutter this time. And as you can see, the shutter is doing the same thing that the iris did. It's going to help us reduce the amount of light that's being picked up into the lens of the camera here. So with the combination of both, we can play with the iris and the shutter speed to make sure that we get the image that we really want. So now if I go back and walk in front of the camera, we're going to see that we look dramatically different just by changing those two settings. So now let's go ahead and swap out this PTZ camera with the Move SE camera, because along with changing the settings, I want to see how the AI tracking works outdoors. Now, just like the other camera, when I set up the Move SE, the colors are overexposed. There's just too much light coming into the lens. So just like that camera, there are the same menu options here. So if we select menu, we see the same options available. But there are a couple other things that you can go in and change if you don't want to mess with the iris and the shutter. I want to go down into the color option, and I'm going to navigate through the white balance mode over to outdoor. And as you can see, just by changing that setting, it lets in less light because it's going to default to what PTZ Optics thinks is the best settings for outdoor use. So now that you know how to adjust the settings for your PTZ camera outdoor, you got to check out the move capability out here. On this remote, like I mentioned in the previous video, all we have to do is select F3 to enable auto tracking. So auto tracking is on. I'm going to go and stand in front of it. So as you can see that as I walk, the camera does a really good job of keeping up with me. But it's not until I start to jog or run where the camera would tend to lose me. Now, I don't think this camera is designed to follow you if you're running anyway, so that test might really not even be valid for using this camera. But it is just something I wanted to try since there's an empty soccer field here and I'm the only one out here recording this video. If this has helped you, let me know in the comment section. If you have some other questions about the PTZ Optics Move SE or any other PTZ related questions, leave those in the comments section, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.